Okay, so I transplanted two big Tetrapanax. I think one was a steroidal joint and the other one was Rex. I'm not too sure. They're Tetrapanax anyway. And dug them out. They don't like being disturbed. Usually if they're disturbed and moved, more than likely they're going to start throwing out pups. So the two that I moved just onto the far side of this hedge line there, even though I had young, fresh, small green growth coming through for spring, I did it in early spring, died back completely. But I just noticed it coming in the other evening, just pulling out bramble and weeds and nettles and stuff. And as far as I can tell, these are Tetrapanax pups coming up here. Because there's no other, I haven't seen any other weed like this. This is all Tetrapanax here. This is dockleaf. This is Tetrapanax. I probably went over it with the mower. That's Tetrapanax. There. So obviously some of those roots had stayed in the ground. Here, they're everywhere. So, see if we can get a little bit of a count here. 1, 2, 3, and these are probably all connected anyway into one single under the ground. 4, 5. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, probably 10 maybe. Looks like could have 10 separate plants here. I wasn't too sure until I came down to the second spot where Max is marking. Good boy, Max. And here it is again. Don't walk in that, Max. Come off. Oh boy. Yeah, so I got at least 10 plants that I could hopefully bring on. It's the right time of the year as well. Now the dogs are coming in. Stop this. I have to get rid of the dogs there. Don't see any more. So it looks like I have about 10. And they've all kind of come up around the edge where I've dug out. There's that one there. I don't know. But I'm going to take these up and put them into pots and grow them on. I might actually leave one down here. I might leave that one there. Okay. Yeah, it kind of got chopped. So I've lost 2 big ones, but hopefully I've gained 10 small ones. And the idea is just to populate them down in the jungle path. And across and up here. I've got some up here. Here's one just outside the tunnel. All healthy, all doing well. Put a few in here. This is one of the pines. It was actually over fairly close to that Scots pine, and it is in a really dry spot. But this is a dry spot where it's gonna get more sun, so there was no protection over winter. This is the Aleppo pine. They don't naturally grow here this far north, but it's going to be getting plenty of sun here, and it's on a slope here, so it's not going to be sitting in damp ground. So the two Sina Grandies were the same size when they went in. But look at this one. The leaf size. As long as they stay alive anyway, that's the main thing. They both got watered, they both got fed. All the new growth on the new Schefflers. Lovely leaves on this. I have, the Wagnerianus, the two small, one is slightly bigger than the other on both sides, but I would like to put a big Waggy. So I'd like to have like 3 different sizes of Waggies that will actually just blend into each other, and just have them flank either side of the path coming down here. Tetrapanax will be nice in here and here. So here's the two Tetrapanax up here. You just see the size there. The trunk is still small this year, so the roots are still only finding their way in. But doing nice and healthy. This is the biggest one. This is actually the first one I took out of a pot, and I planted it up in the bed at the patio. Started throwing up pups, didn't like being taken out of the pot. Then I moved it down to this sunny position and didn't like that, died back, and then it just threw up this nice strong trunk on it. I did go at this soil last year with a fork, but it didn't throw up any, it didn't disturb anything. You can see all the scarring on the trunk here, all these notches. That's from when the branches and the leaves, they separate, they come away. This is where they are connected. So you can see all the different branches that just came away, and eventually they're going to all come off, and the trunk will go up again, and so on and so forth. But I think if I can get about a dozen of these guys, from this point on all the way around, and these couple up here, it's going to look really good then. The leaves are just fucking gigantic. Look. I mean, they're huge. Massive. But yeah, hopefully they can all develop. Once they're like trunks, if I could get them to trunk at about 8 feet, once I can walk under them, that'd be fantastic. And after that, it'd be a bonus. 7 feet even. Right, I'm going to start potting these up and do it on site right beside them. They are fairly fragile when you move them, and I'd say they are when they're this size, so I'm going to cut down the time on taking them out and then walking all the way back up to the shed or the tunnel to do it. So I'm going to do it right here, get them up, get them into the pots, into the soil, and give them a good soak. Right, so the one that was further down in the old chicken pen, I'm going to leave it in the chicken pen. It was here, so obviously that taproot, if you will, the roots on these, they don't go down, they go lateral, so that's why they're invasive. They're like bamboo to a degree. Like, invasive is a very strong word, but they travel underground laterally. Birch trees do the same, some trees do the same thing. Some roots on trees will go down, some go lateral, and the Tetrapanax, they're going left, right, up and down. So they're not just going straight in and down. So I moved it back into the central position where the original one was, because there's a high concentrate of old rotten horse manure in that area there that it can tap into, which would have broken down. It's probably even better now that it's after breaking down over a couple of seasons. And I'm going to top dress it with some of the manure. I'll put some sticks around this one, and I took out a nice big square piece. Plant didn't even know it was probably moved. There's no root disturbance or anything. So I'd say I'll give it a water, and next week I'll start feeding this for the rest of the summer. So I remember when I planted this was the Tetrapanax toroidal giant that I brought in, and I put in a whole wheelbarrow load, heaped wheelbarrow load of old horse manure underneath, and it was spread out in a very large area. And that's what I noticed actually when I was digging these up. The roots are travelling out the way, they're not going down in the Tetrapanax. So there's a lot of chunks and bits of roots. There's a bit that came off there anyway, but yeah, there's bits of roots and rhizomes, would you call them? And what I'm going to do is just cover these back over, and I'm going to keep watering this area. And if it throws up more, it throws up more. So this is what I have here. I put in bits of chunks of roots that had little nodes on them that you can see were going green. So I have a few on that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 2 on that. 10. Pinch that out. 10, 11, 12, 13, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Some are much stronger than the others that are like nice root ball. Some of them just kind of is an old dead branch from the previous season. Just pinch out these big leaves. Yeah, so I'll see what I get. I'll keep watering this area here, and hopefully more will just start to generate.